It's dirty, it's tired, it is absolutely derelict now, and people sleep rough in there. The very first holiday I went on, I would be around about 4, no older, and we went to Rill, and we were all so excited, and I just wanted to carry my little bucket and my spade all the way there. I didn't want to lose it. And I remember all the people in the street, we were the only family that used to have holidays, and all the families they'd come out and give you £3, and I'd managed to save mine. I'd got £1, and my dad said, when you get there you can have either 40 sixpenny ice creams, and you can have 40 for your £1, or you can have 80 if you have threepenny bit ice cream. And you couldn't find a space on a beach because everybody in those days had the same 2 weeks holiday, and they all piled up to the railway station. It would be absolutely oozing with people. I just looked the corridor, because you get on the train and there'd be like this corridor would be the whole length of the train, and then there'd be this little apartment. It would sit 6 people, but you could close the door and there was a little luggage rack above you, and then the men would get up and go in the corridor, and you could open the window there and they'd have a cigarette, because you could smoke on the trains then. The tin buckets and spades then weren't these plastic things like you've got now. It was a real tin bucket. Now, that was often painted red or green or yellow, and they'd have a bird on, or a fish or something. And it was wonderful. I mean, they went rusty when you took them home and left bits of water in. And nobody got any money really. You were all in little guest houses, and that was what your mum did in January, immediately after Christmas. Your mum and dad decides where you're going, whether it was Scarborough, Rill, Southsea or Blackpool, and your mum would always write at least half a dozen letters to some address in some seaside town and say, can you fit us in at this particular week? And the one particular place we went to, you had to go and fetch the food. You had to go out and buy the meat, your potatoes and veg or whatever, and take it back to her, and she'd cook it. And I remember saying to her, can I have hot milk on my Weetabix? She said, no, you flaming well can't. She said, I'll bring you a jug of hot water, put hot water on it and then put some milk on. And I was only about 5. And I couldn't think where this woman could have come from, wanting to put hot water on my Weetabix. The thing I really hated, and everybody had, the children, knitted bathing costumes. They're sort of finished here and they've got little straps on. And we went in the sea, Eileen and me, for a paddle. And the straps had stretched that much, it ended up around your navel. So he was naked, and we kept getting hold of the straps and yanking the things back up. I was 17 and I went with my sister to Jersey. It cost us £11 each, which seemed a lot of money then, but it was £11. And my mother was sobbing. You'd have thought I was going to the moon, and Eileen. She was brown-hearted. I think she thought we were never going to come back. With aeroplanes, it opened up a new world for everybody, and then factories started to change their system of holidays. A lot of places didn't want to go altogether because everywhere was so crowded. So they all started having different holidays. So everywhere wasn't so crowded, it was easier to get on the train. And they started doing very cheap holidays in Spain, and it was probably about 1972. My Grandad went to Mallorca. Oh, it was bad enough going to Jersey, but my mother thought we was going to out to Mongolia. And that was the start. It was a big thing in the 70s Spain. It's changed dramatically. There was the most beautiful old picture house, and I mean an old picture house in Paynton by the railway, and it closed after about 3 years. Fortunately they got a fund and they're trying to get it to reopen and put it back as exactly as it was. Oh, you never saw a man without a collar and tie on. Even on the beach, sitting in a deck chair, they'd still got the shoes on, the collar and tie and a flat cap. I mean, now there's, they drink, have a can of beer, throw it about the place. People had more respect for each other and the places where they were. You wouldn't find the litter and the dirty beaches then. They just went and had a good time, and that was it. It was back to work on the Monday, and then you go back to school and tell all your mates, because half of them hadn't gone on holiday, they just couldn't afford it. I was very fortunate. All of the shops then were flourishing. There was one shopping arcade and every shop was full, and they've all closed. It is absolutely derelict now. It's sad. And in the high street, they're just mostly now amusement arcades, and it just looks so sad and lost, and it's almost dead. And the difference from there was such a gaiety, such fun, and everybody was on holiday and they made sure they was going to have a good time. But now it's just not the same, because I suppose it's become boring in some ways.